Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare
It
Krishna.
started. Hare Krishna. Well, the rules are you must mute and you must switch off your video. No videos on and no audio on.
Hare Krishna.
I said.
You said join your hands.
Okay.
I can't put my video on. It's not happening.
Now, you're supposed to keep your video off and your audios also on mute. That's the rule. All right. So since everyone has already said Hare Krishna, so nice to have all of you back after a wonderful weekend. Before we start the weekend, we can have the wonderful Katha of Sundarkand. And also, I want to thank everyone who have sent in their art and such beautiful, beautiful artwork you all have sent. It's so nice to see such talented children and wonderful. So we have Namish today who is going to chant the shlokas. And okay, let me just share the screen. And Namish, can you switch on your audio and video for a moment? And before you start, just give me 1 minute. There's a little problem with our YouTube. Let me just check that. Yes. Okay, so okay, here goes. All right. So Namish has been with us for many years now. He and his sister, yeah, and very, very dedicated to our classes. Yes, Namish, nicely, loudly. Yeah, everyone join your hands and chant with him while we are muted. Yes, and I'm also going to mute myself.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानजनशलाकय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुवैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सायदातं सहगणा रघुनाथान् तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखावितांश्च नमः। ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय श्रीमती भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाष्टाय दिशारिणे। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपीश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। श्री कृष्ण प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
Thank you, Namish. Okay, so are we ready for our Ramayana Katha? So last time we heard about the glories and of Lord Hanuman, and we will do a little bit of recap of Lord Hanuman before we start, because it's very, very nice to hear about these glories again and again because they purify us. Yes? So we're just going to talk a little bit about the birth of Hanuman before we go to Sundarkand. Okay, so let me just share my slide before we start. All right, and there we go. All right, so we all know that Hanuman was born to Keshari and Anjana, and Vayudev was his energy was transferred, and Anjana gave birth to his son called this beautiful boy. And as soon as he was born, he looked as big as he was 16 years old. Yeah. And he was hungry, and his mother said that I'll get some fruits for you. So he was like, where are the fruits? And she showed him up and said, those yellow things hanging on the tree is the fruit. And when he looked up, what did he see? He saw Surya Dev, and he thought Surya Dev was a fruit. So he sprang upwards with his outstretched hands, and because he was gifted with Lord Vayu's power, he could fly, and he soared and soared into the air. And Vayudev went along with him, covering him with cool breeze so that he's not burned by the scorching rays of the sun. And Surya Dev, also seeing that it was Vayu's son, made himself cooler and cooler so that Hanuman could come to him. But then, as he came near him, Rahu, whose time it was to devour the sun, was coming near. And then he saw this being, this effulgent child, soaring and trying to eat Surya Dev. And then Hanuman looked at Rahu and he thought he was another fruit. Quickly, what did he do? He also he thought Rahu also was a fruit. Then Rahu immediately went to Lord Indra and said that it was my time, but look, someone else is having my food. And then then Indra went in his elephant Eravat, and then again Hanuman thought that Indradev was another fruit. But Indradev struck his Vajra, the thunderbolt, and struck Hanuman with it, causing him to drop back. Now, when he dropped back onto the ground, he fell down as though he was almost dead and he was not conscious. Now, Vayudev was very angry. And what did he do? He withdrew all his life air, causing everyone in all the entire universe to suffocate. And then Indra and all the devatas went to him, but Vayu would not accede. So then they approached Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma came down and he said, Vayu, why are you doing this? Vayudev said, what has my son done? He's innocent. How can this be done to him? And then Lord Brahma then told the devatas. Lord Brahma then blessed him, and Hanuman came back to consciousness. And then Lord Brahma told all the devatas that this Vanar is going to be very, very important for Lord Ram's mission on this earth. So you must all bless him. So then, what did Indra do? Indra said, from this day on, Hanuman will be invulnerable to my thunderbolt. Then Surya Dev said that I shall bestow upon him 100th part of my brilliance. Also, when he begins to study scriptures, I shall enable him to quickly learn all the aspects of knowledge, and no one can exceed his scriptural understanding. So he became the guru. Then Yamraj granted him invulnerability to his rod and freedom from any ailment. So he is a Chiranjeev. So till the end of the universe, he is always existing. He does not die. Yamraj, therefore, could not hurt him. He said, Lord Shiva then said that he would be immune to all my weapons and from death at my hands. Kuvair also blessed him that he would always remain fresh and strong in a battlefield. He will never tire in the battlefield. And then Vishwakarma said that this Vanar will be invulnerable to all celestial weapons made by me, and therefore he shall also be long lived. And finally, Brahma said that, O Vayu, your son shall be invincible in battle. He will prove the terror of his foes and the shelter of his friends. This jewel among monkeys shall be able to change his form at will and go wherever he pleases at any speed he likes. No Brahmin's curse will be able to kill him. His movements shall be unimpeded and he will be glorious. In war, he will accomplish tremendous feats which make one's hair stand on end, thus causing the destruction of Ravan and the pleasure of Ram. So, after all these benedictions, what happened? Hanuman became very strong. He started becoming very mischievous. He started troubling all the rishis. And one day, outside a rishi's hut, he tied the tails of an elephant and a lion together. And there was a huge battle and huge havoc created because of this elephant and lion tied up together. And this rishi wanted to go out of his hut in the morning to have his bath, and he couldn't go out. And he came out. He's so scared, and he tried to go out of the window. And Hanuman was sitting on this tree with the other Vanars, laughing. He was troubling them so much. Then this rishi cursed Hanuman that you actually got this power for serving Ram in his mission, but you are creating so much havoc. So I will curse you that you will forget all your powers and you will regain it when you're reminded for it at the right time. So after saying this, he went away. Hanuman then, as a child, also got blessed by Narad Muni, who blessed him with something unique. And what was that? It was music. And then we heard the story about how Hanuman sang and he melted the stone and Narad Muni's veena was floating on it. And then when he stopped singing, Narad Muni's veena got stuck. And then when Narad Muni said, come on, sing again, I want my veena, Hanuman got up and ran. Narad Muni running behind him to catch him. And he ran all over the house, every room. And then eventually, Anjana said, why are you troubling Narad Muni? Go. Then Hanuman said, no, this was just a way to get a house, each and every corner of our house blessed by this pure devotee. So when a pure devotee comes to your house, he blesses your house, right? So then he goes back and then he sings again. Narad Muni picks up his veena and he flies away. And now Jamvan has reminded Hanuman. She said, remember all your powers. And Hanuman remembers his powers now. The curse is broken. And he says, yes, I shall jump across the mighty ocean. I will do this and accomplish this mission which we have set out for. And then what does he do? He expands himself 50 times his normal size. And he says that I claim my descent from the mighty Vayu who circulates through all of space and easily smashes down mountain peaks. I could leap to the outer limits of the universe, quite able to overtake the blazing sun as it moves from the east across to the western mountain. Today I shall leap from Mount Mahendra, scattering the clouds, shaking the mountains, and drying up the sea. I will swiftly and easily reach Lanka in one great bound. Have no fear. And then Hanuman takes this leap. And as he leaps, Mount Mahendra, all the surrounding areas, due to the force, everything starts shaking. The rishis who were sitting in meditation leap up into the air. The snakes on the sides of the mountain gets shaken and they all slid down. Trees are uprooted, they are shaken, and all the monkeys gaze up at this beautiful sight of Hanuman soaring through the air, and they look up in wonder and awe. Then they went down to the beach, and then the wait began for Hanuman's return. Everybody wondering whether the mission will be accomplished or not. And that was the end of Kishkinda Kand. Yeah. So now after Kishkinda Kand, we move on to Sundarkand. Now before we move on to Sundarkand, we should understand why it's called Sundarkand. Now, we went through all the Kants. First one was Bal Kand, which was the childhood of all the brothers, therefore Bal Kand. Then it was Ayodhya Kand, which spoke about all what was happening in the kingdom of Ayodhya. Then it was Aranya Kand, which spoke about how they all went into the forest. Yes, they were banished into the forest. After Aranyakand, we reached Kishkinda Kand. Kishkinda is the kingdom of the Vanars. So therefore it was Kishkinda Kand. After Sundarkand is Yuddha Kand. Yuddha Kand means the fight between to kill Kumbhakarna, fight to kill Indrajit, fight to kill Ravan, all the Yuddh which was happening. So Yuddha Kand. But why Sundarkand? Sundarkand, this section of the story narrates the extreme separation between Ram and Sita. It was the most saddest part. So, shouldn't it have been called something sad, something to do with separation? So, why is it called Sundarkand? So, before we understand why it's called Sundarkand, we need to know the different names of Hanuman. Now, Hanuman is called Keshari Nandan because he is the son of Keshari. But was it his name? No, it's a name by default, right? So just like if he is the son of Vayu, he's called Vayu Putra. He's the son of Keshari, so he's called Keshari Putra. Supposing someone is born to John, he's called son of John. Doesn't mean his name is son of John, right? He has his own name, right? So then another name for Hanuman is Anjaneya, which means he's the son of Anjana. So does it mean his name is Anjaneya? No, by default, because he's son of Anjana, his name is Anjaneya. So, and why was he called Hanuman? Hanuman, because when he fell down, when Indra's Vajra hit him, his jaw got hurt, fractured. And that's why it's called Hanuman. Some people say cheek, some people say jaw, whatever. This area was fractured, so he was called Hanuman. But was it his name? Did Anjana and Keshari name him Hanuman? Would a parent name their child, oh, fractured jaw or fractured cheek? No, they wouldn't. So what was his name? So now when this beautiful boy was born, for a mother, the child is the most beautiful. Yes. So his name kept by Anjana was no, it's not Bajrang, it's not Maruti. The name Anjana kept for him was Sundar. Yes, Diya. His name was Sundar. The name kept was Sundar. His mother named him Sundar because for every child, for every mother, the child is beautiful. And Hanuman was also beautiful. You might say, oh, but he was a Vanar, he was a monkey. So what? His mother. So that's why his name is Sundar. Yes, we've already established it's Sundar. Let's stop typing now. So therefore, is it why this is called Sundarkand? Because Hanuman is going all the way to Lanka? And that's why it's the mission of Hanuman, so it's called Sundarkand? No, that's not the only reason. The other reason is that now we will also a lot of description about Sita's beautiful qualities, her determination, and her beauty, her Sundar, how Sundar she was. And also the beautiful, Sundar means beautiful. The beautiful message conveyed by by Hanuman from Ram to Sita is also Sundar. So therefore, this has two reasons. One is because Hanuman's name was Sundar. Other one is because the message conveyed was beautiful. And the third, because Sita was herself so beautiful. Beautiful by looks, beautiful by virtues, by qualities. So therefore, this is Sundarkand. Why is this the most potent? Because from now on, what is established, it's slowly going to establish the victory of good over evil. From now on, it's going to establish how all impediments can be broken, how we can overcome any difficulty. So therefore, Sundarkand, listening to it and chanting it will give you a lot of benedictions. So now Sundarkand starts with Hanuman's leap to Lanka. So what does he do? Hanuman flew forcefully into the morning sky. The trees, shrubs, and flowers flew behind him. His relatives were behind him, and Vayudev was with him. And Hanuman thought of Ram. And he remembered Sampati. He said Sampati was right. Simply by remembering Ram's name at the end of life, anyone could cross the entire ocean of material distress. But and what are these? These 800 miles are just nothing. Hanuman felt confident of success and he soared towards Lanka. Soon he would reach Sita and reassure her. And if any Rakshasas tried to stop him, that would be their last act on earth, and he would dispense swift justice to the Rakshasas, and then returning to Ram's presence, he would await further commands. So, this was his mission in mind. So as the flowers following Hanuman, because all the devatas were showering flowers on Hanuman, he went. He was flying across the sea, and all the trees dropped behind, and everything. And Hanuman's outstretched hands looked like a pair of five hooded serpents because he was so big. He expanded himself 50 times, right? And then the sun was also honoring his service to Ram, and he did not scorch Hanuman. And the wind god, Vayudev, raced with him, fanning him with a gentle. The ocean, the god of ocean, he observed Hanuman flying above, and then he considered that he should also render some service, thereby pleasing Ram. So, in the depths of the ocean, there was a mountain named Menaka Mountain. So, the ocean god approached Menaka Mountain and asked him, rise above the waters, offer your peak to Hanuman so that he could rest for some time because he has such a long journey. So the mountain agreed, and then the mountain began to grow upwards, and it emerged from the sea with a great roar. Foams were billowing, and it crashed on all the waves crashed on all sides. Now, this Menaka mountain, Hanuman saw this mountain ahead of him, and he thought that maybe it's an obstruction, and he prepared to strike it on the chest. But the mountain deity immediately assumed its form and requested Hanuman that, oh Hanuman, I've been requested by the god of the sea who wishes to serve Ram. So, therefore, oopsies, I'll just share it again. Okay, can I request Madhavi to stop sharing the screen because my screen has been stopped. Can you please remove your screen, please? Okay, sorry for that glitch. And so therefore, what it that the sea god wants to offer some service to Lord Ram. So therefore, and also your ancestor, Sagar, he filled the ocean because all the ocean water was swallowed by Agastya Rishi. So I'm also indebted to your father Vayudev. So once, long back, so Maina Hanuman, which could fly. So, afraid of these flying mountains, all the rishis went to Indra, Lord Indra, and asked that Indra cut off their wings. So, with his thunderbolt, then Indra then cut off their wings. But Vayudev saved Menaka mountain from Indra. So, therefore, the mountain wanted to repay his debt to Vayu by serving Hanuman. So he asked Hanuman that you can please rest on the peaks for some time and then you can continue your journey. But Hanuman was not inclined to stop. He said that I'm very grateful to you and thank you for your offer, but the time for resting has not yet arrived. My duty is not yet done. So please forgive me. You have already rendered me service by your kind words. Now please allow me to continue. So Hanuman then respectfully touched the peak of Menak mountain and then he rose still higher into the sky. And the mountain and the sea god both looked at him and offered prayers of benediction and success. Now, what does Menaka mountain signify in our devotional life? So, Menaka mountain is obstacles in devotional service. When you embark on your devotional service, on your journey in bhakti, there will be people who will entice you to eat tasty food, or they'll say, no, no, don't. Why are you doing that? Come, enjoy. See, it's so tasty. Nothing will happen. No. And then they will all say, oh, why are you going for kirtan? Why are you going to the temple? Come, let's go. This is not your time. This is not your age. And they will entice you with all these things. But if you control your tongue and your senses, then you must not rest, because the goal of bhakti is to attain the pure service of the lotus feet of the Lord. So, therefore, you must control yourself and you must not rest. Just like Hanuman said, I cannot rest because my mission has not been accomplished yet. The same way, you must also not rest. And then you must move on. So then immediately he started flying ahead. So Indra and the other devatas watched Hanuman as he flew, and they were astonished by his power. So they desired to test him. They said, okay, let's test him. So they approached the mother of the Nagas called Surasa. And they said that, oh Naga lady, we want you to test Hanuman before he reaches Lanka. So then Surasa immediately went into the sea and suddenly rose up in front of Hanuman in the form of a vast and terrible Rakshasi. And she boomed at Hanuman. She said, the gods have ordained you to be my food. Oh, monkey, quickly enter my mouth, because Brahma has given me the boon that no one who has come before me can escape without being eaten. So you have to enter my mouth. And Surasa opened her mouth, which was like a big cave, and it had rows of fierce teeth. So Hanuman smiled and said to the Naga goddess, he said, I'm on a mission to serve Ram, who's the Lord of creation. So you should not stop me. You should not come in my way. If I must be eaten by you, then please wait here. Once I've completed my mission, I'll come back and then you can eat me. So Surasa replied, no, nothing doing. I have been given a boon by Brahma that everyone has to enter my mouth. So then what did she do? She expanded her mouth even more, and then Hanuman came closer, and then her jaws extended for 8 miles. So Hanuman quickly grew for 16 miles. Then she again expanded her mouth to 20 miles. Then again Hanuman again exceeded it by many miles, so by the size of his body. So the Naga grew further and Hanuman also grew further. Then suddenly Hanuman, quickly what did he do? He contracted himself and he became small, the size of a thumb. He became so small. And he quickly entered Surasa's mouth. He went inside her throat and quickly came out again, very fast. And when he came out, he said, I have honored Brahma's boon. Now let me pass because I have to fulfill my mission. And I wish you well. Then the Naga goddess, she resumed her original form and she praised Hanuman and blessed him to be successful. And then Hanuman moved on in the speed of Garuddev. And he went further and further. He shot through the sky. Yeah. But then now, what does Surasa signify? Now, Surasa also signifies something in our devotional life. Surasa signifies ego. She represents ego. Now, we always try to become more and more superior than the others. When someone is bigger than you try to become bigger than them. If someone is much bigger than you again, then you try to become bigger and bigger and bigger. You try to become superior than the person in front of you, and in that battle of becoming superior, you lose your sight on bhakti. But in bhakti, when you want to achieve success, you have to become small. You have to become humble. Humility is an ornament of a Vaishnava. Yes? So you have to consider yourself smaller than a blade of grass. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says you have to become smaller than a blade of grass. So in bhakti, you have to become small. You have to think that you're small. You should not think, I am so great. I have achieved so much. I am bigger than you. I am superior than you. Then bhakti is lost because Krishna only likes humility. So Surasa represents ego. And what kills ego? Humility, right? So then when Hanuman went further, he then from below, there was a Rakshasa woman called Simhika. She gazed hungrily at this enormous body of the monkey and desiring to eat him up, she used her mystic power and she suddenly caught hold of his shadow. And suddenly Hanuman felt that he couldn't go further. So he looked around and he saw that beneath him, Simika's hideous form was rising up in the sea, and her terrific mouth was open, wide open to swallow him, and she thundered like a mass of clouds. Then Hanuman fearlessly entered her mouth. And as he entered her mouth, all the devatas and siddhas looking said, "Oh, what happened? Oh no, what's wrong?" But Hanuman, what did he do? His body was as hard as a diamond. So he began to tear the demon's vital parts inside, and he cut her heart in two, and he burst out from the side of her body. Rakshasi screamed and fell dead into the sea. So then all the devatas looking at him started blessing him and said, "Your success is certain because you possess determination, vision, understanding, skill, everything you have. So whatever you undertake will never fail." And he also had blessings of Lord Brahma. But now, what does Simhika represent in our devotional life? Simhika represents envy. Being envious, there are people who are envious and will try to stop your progress. You can also stop your own progress by being envious on others. So, by devotional service, devotional service can devour the envy in within our hearts and within other people's hearts. So, you must not lose sight of your goal, which is bhakti, and envy can be stopped by devotional service. So now Hanuman continued on, and very soon he saw Lanka in front of him. So Hanuman then immediately he landed on this large island and he returned to his normal form so that nobody could spot him. And then he started surveying the region. It was covered with beautiful woods. It had flowering and fruit-bearing trees of all kinds. There were meadows, lotus ponds, everything. And there was an aroma of flowers which had cool breezes. There were sounds of various birds, and a golden wall ran around the city. There were large bells tied which blew in the wind. There were ferocious Rakshasas ranged to guard the kingdom. They had these big, fierce-looking weapons in their hands. Now, behind the wall, Hanuman could see mansions and palaces. Some were golden, some were as white as a moon. So he climbed on a high tree and he gazed into the city. And he saw hundreds of tall and impressive buildings, and it had white tiled roads. And in front of the roads, there were wonderful golden archways. So the city basically looked like a capital of the Devatas. And to Hanuman, it seemed to be, it seemed as though it was floating in air. And he also knew that who had constructed Lanka? It was Vishwakarma. Vishwakarma is the architect of the Devatas. Then he reached the northern gate, and Hanuman sat in thought. He looked into Lanka and he saw that it was guarded by innumerable Rakshasas, terrible Rakshasas, and venomous serpents also. So he gazed up high at the wall. He said, How can, he saw this high wall and he said, How can all the monkeys overpower this city? For a start, only Sugriv, Angad, Neel, all these monkeys can cross the ocean. And then after crossing the ocean, how can just 4 people fight with so many fearsome Rakshasas? How, and it headed by this invincible Ravan? What would they do? What are the monkeys going to do? So then he said, Let me not worry. Let me first find Sita and first ensure that she is safe. And then afterwards, let's see what instructions Ram gives us. So then he decided that he will wait till dark and then he will go into Lanka under the cover of darkness. So he then waited, and then that night, it was the full moon night, and it was a clear sky. So then Hanuman stood up and he approached the wall. Now, however, the presiding deity of Lanka, called Lankini, she approached him and she was fierce and she was ugly and she gave out a horrible yell and she said, Who are you trying to covertly, secretly enter this city? You shall never be able to pass by me, you monkey. And Hanuman cared less for this Rakshas goddess. He did not even reveal his name. He didn't bother to even answer her questions, but rather he started asking her. He said, "You first identify yourself. Who are you?" So then she replied in very harsh tones that she was Ravan's servant and she guarded Lanka, and now she's going to kill Hanuman, because he had this, he tried to enter the city. So Hanuman just stood like a firm mountain, and he replied that he would enter the city no matter what, and no one could prevent him. So the Rakshasi immediately struck him with her hand. And he was unmoved by the blow. He just stood where he was, but he became furious. So he clenched his fist and he hit her, but not with full force because she was a woman. But nevertheless, even with a slight hit, this Lankini, she fell down on the ground. And after some moments, she recovered. She came back to consciousness and she started begging Hanuman, Please, please, please don't kill me. Please, please spare me. And then she told Hanuman that, Brahma had told me that when a monkey came and, overpowered me, then that means that it was the beginning of the end of the Rakshasas. And Brahma's word can never be proven false. So it was the time for the destruction of Ravan and the Rakshasas had begun. It was near. Then the Rakshasi told Hanuman to proceed into the city and she disappeared. So now Hanuman assumed a small form, no, not bigger, as small as a kitten, so that he wouldn't be seen. So he entered the city in a very tiny form. And he entered and he was springing up here and there, climbing on the outer wall. He began to penetrate the city and he looked around. He heard sounds of laughter, sounds of music, tinkling of ornaments, jewels. And then he quickly went from house to house searching for Sita. So he saw many demons. They were engaged in dancing with the apsaras. Some rakshasas in different houses called the Yatudhanas. They were studying scriptures and chanting sacred hymns also. And then in the public square, he saw that there were wrestling matches and between rakshasas of huge, massive sizes, you know. And then he moved unnoticed, and he was also a military expert. Ravan was a military expert, so he could also spy. He could also spot all the spies. He could recognize all the disguised spies also. Then gradually he approached Ravan's palace. This palace, and in front were like 100,000 soldiers in front of the palace. And the palace itself looked as though it was the summit of a Trikuta mountain. It was so huge. It looked like a great white cloud. And it was encircled by this moat. Moat is the water which encircled the palace so that it could stop people from entering it directly. Moats normally have a bridge to cross on. So then Hanuman, anyway, the moat was closed. So Hanuman just quickly swam through the pond, the water, and he entered the gates of these gold brick walls of Hanuman. And there were thousands of exceptionally powerful Rakshasas, and they stood on guard, but no one paid heed to him because they could hardly even see him. Then Hanuman moved from the first courtyard to the second courtyard, from one area to the other, from one mansion to the other. He saw very beautiful ladies. He saw so many, but then all of them were just lying and sleeping and drunk and all that. He said, "My God, they're beautiful, but this cannot be Sita." Then eventually he heard a lot of Vedic chanting also. And then he saw that there was a terrace and there was a pond, there were swans, there were peacocks. And then there he found the Pushpak Viman, the chariot which could fly. It was lying in the center of Ravan's palace, and it resembled a huge mansion which shone. It was shining as though it was midday, even though it was dark. It was nighttime. It was shining as though it was midday. And the chariot, it was embellished with every kind of celestial jewel, adorned with carvings of gold and silver. There were little birds made out of cat's eye, and as well as coral, as well as silver. The chariot was decorated with carved serpents, and there were large gold and crystal houses inside, and there were excellent seats. There were golden stairways which went to different levels, and each level was adorned and decorated by sapphires and rubies and emeralds. There were garlands of flowers hung everywhere to decorate it. And in the chariot was also a lotus pond in which there were a number of carved elephants holding golden lotuses in their trunks, as though they were offering worship to Goddess Lakshmi. So he was astonished to see this massive, beautiful Pushpak Viman. And it was suspended as though it was suspended in air. It was just hovering above the ground. And then he started searching for Ravan's apartments. And then he went around everywhere, and there was a room full of weapons, there was a room full of jewelry, there was a room full of women, or carpets, silk, everything. And then finally he entered a room where Ravan himself was. And Ravan was lying there asleep, And Hanuman saw this handsome form of Ravan. He was very handsome. His complexion was like a dark cloud. He was adorned with bright, flashing earrings, and he was clad in robes of red, crimson red robes. And his limbs were smeared with red sandal paste, and he resembled a cloud reddened by sunset. He was decorated with garlands, jewels, everything. So he looked at him in disgust. And then next to him, he saw a very beautiful lady. She was just lying. He thought, he started jumping. He said, maybe this is Sita. Maybe this is Sita. She's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. Then he said, but Sita leaving Ram, separated from Ram, would not be so happy. So it's definitely not Sita. Said, okay, so now where do I find her? Where do I find her? He started moving around everywhere and he started moving out. And he said, I don't know where to find her. Then eventually he went out into the gardens. And there he saw that in a garden he spotted a woman. She was lying near a temple and she was surrounded by Rakshasis who were tossing on the ground. And then Hanuman leapt through the trees to have a closer look, and he saw that this woman was clad in soiled garments, but she was so beautiful, like a diamond covered in dust. And her slender body was smeared with dirt, and she was repeatedly sighing and crying, and her face was streaked with tears. So Hanuman immediately heard that it was going to be dawn, it was going to be morning, and he heard that people were singing hymns to wake up Ravan. So Ravan immediately woke up and he remembered he was drunk, he was like tottering, but he immediately woke up and he came to meet Sita. And when he came to meet Sita, the Ravan started saying, "Oh, you're such a jewel among women. Why are you lying in such a wretched condition? You should just rise up. You should marry me. I will make you my queen. I will remove everyone else from my palace. I'll make you my queen." And Sita immediately turned her face away in contempt and she started crying. And Ravan tried to win her by his charms. And then Sita was resistant. And then the demon then folded his hands. Ravan said, "What will you gain by lying here? Please, please, you are the finest of all women. Brahma has created the most beautiful woman. Please, you must marry me, become." And then Sita didn't even look at him, so he started getting angry. He started, threatening her, "Become my wife, otherwise, I'm going to chop you up. I'm going to ask my cooks to chop you up to pieces and serve me for lunch." And then Sita started shuddering. She was so scared, and she spoke very harshly. She said, she picked up, she picked up a blade of grass, and without even looking at him, she placed a symbolic blade of grass between herself and a demon, and she replied, she said, "I am the daughter of earth, and this blade of grass is the son of earth. That means he is my brother. I do not want to even talk to you directly without a male being present. So I'm talking to you in front of my brother. Give up your futile hope. You no more deserve me than a sinful man deserves perfection. How do you expect me to perform an act condemned by all pious women? How do you imagine that I will rest upon your arm other than Ram's arm? How any other man? Do you not realize that molesting women is going to lead to your destruction?" She spoke very harshly, and Ravan was furious. Then the demon just turned away from Sita, his eyes flaming, and he told all the Rakshasis, he told, "Go and trouble her and keep on threatening her that one day she will agree." So all the numerous Rakshasis, they tried different methods. Some of them threatened her, and some of them said, "If you don't, I am going to eat you up just now. I'm going to devour you." Some of them were so angry. Some of them were saying, "What will you gain? Give up. Ram is not going to come now. See, nobody can come to Lanka." Some said this, some said that. And Hanuman climbed up on the tree and he was listening to everything, and he was feeling so bad. He said, my God, what is Sita Maya going through? She has to go through all this nonsense. And then he was burning with anger also. He felt an impulse that he should leap down and he should kill all those Rakshasis. But then he restrained himself and said, let me intelligently wait for an opportunity to speak to Sita, otherwise she will get scared. So then Sita just started crying and she was calling out Ram's name and she said, Ram, when will you come? When will you come? And then suddenly Trijata, another Rakshasi, she comes and she says that, look, everyone, I had a dream that Ravan has entered into darkness and Ram, Sita, and all are coming in a white chariot. And I saw that all Ravan's sons, ministers, all their heads are shaved and their bodies are bathed in oil. And I also saw that Lanka was being set alight by a monkey, by this agile monkey, and all the Rakshasas are disappearing into a pool of cow dung. And Hanuman is sitting on the tree and thinking, but my mission was only to find Sita. This burning of Lanka, which this Rakshasi is talking about, was not in my mission. But good idea. I think I should take up this idea. If I get a chance, I should burn Lanka. Why simply this Rakshasi has seen a dream, no? Let me make her dream come true. And saying this, he waited till all the Rakshasis fell asleep. So now his next thought was he has to approach Sita and talk to her. He also has the ring. Remember, Ram had given him a ring with his name inscribed. So that part is part 2, which we will do next time. We're going to stop now and we are going to continue Sundarkand next time, right? Because Sundarkand, now the conversation between Hanuman and Sita is very, very beautiful. All right. So now can remember today is our yoga session. So I want everyone to get ready with your yoga mats and switch on your videos, and audio should be off. And we have Rasamandala Das. Rasamandala Prabhu has been doing yoga for many, many years. His father has been doing it for many years. He has been doing it for many years. And today he is going to teach you all. So can I see everybody on the mat? And there is Prabhu. Can I see everybody on the mat?
Camera is not working.
Okay, so that doesn't matter. You can switch off your audio. No one's audio should be on, only videos, so that you can hear and follow instructions nicely. Come on now, I want everybody's video. I cannot see everyone's video. Where are you on the mat? Everyone should be standing or sitting. Okay, I'll do it.
Is everybody ready for a yoga session? We'll have a yoga session for about 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes maximum. And our focus will be today mainly on having a good posture. So how you stand, how you sit, and to have to do exercises which will help you increase your height, because you're all at that age where you can have a nice height. You're still not fully grown up, so we're going to focus on those exercises only. So let's start with a little bit of warm up. Let's stretch all the body parts. So everybody get onto your mat and start moving slowly on your toes. Keep your shoulders loose, hands loose. Shake your.
She can't see you. She can't see you. You have to see what this person is doing.
Not able to see. Are you able to hear me?
See what he's doing.
Yes, we can hear you.
Wait.
All audio off. Come on, everyone, up on your feet. Krisha, let's get up.
Even join.
चलो करो. देखो आदि भी है.
Running like an engine. So you're getting the heart rate going
जल्दी
up,
करो.
getting the body warmed up slowly. Now just increase the pace a bit. So the last counts 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
जल्दी.
2, 1. Now stop. Now we're going to stretch all the various body parts, starting with your neck. So inhale, raise your neck up, exhale, down. We'll do it 5 times. Inhale up, exhale, down. Inhale up, exhale, down. Inhale up, exhale, down. Now we'll look right and left. So inhale and exhale right, inhale center, exhale left. Only move your neck, not the rest of the body. You're just stretching your neck. Inhale center, exhale right, inhale center, exhale left, inhale center, exhale right, inhale center. Now we'll do circles with the neck. So hands on your waist, keep your eyes open. Just rotate your neck. Inhale when you go up, exhale when you come down. 5 times clockwise, 5 times anti-clockwise. Change. Now we'll do shoulder rotation. So keep your fingers on your shoulder and then rotate your shoulders front like this. So exhale when you come down, inhale when you go up. You're loosening your shoulder muscles. Exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up. Then reverse 5 times. Exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up. Okay. Now raise your right hand up, stretch your spine. We're trying to stretch this side. So exhale and then move to the left. Feel a nice stretch on the sides. And just hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come up now. Raise your left hand up. Nicely stretch your spine. Then exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we'll do movements on the similar kind of a thing for your sides. So right hand up. 1, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Left hand up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come to the waist. You're going to do hip rotation. So keep your feet shoulder width apart, hands on your waist, and you're going to rotate your hips. Nice big rotations. And you Just keep in mind that you're rotating only your hips, you're not rotating your full body like this. Just the hip rotation. 5 times in each direction. Change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we'll do stretch. We'll do a toe touching and stretching your back also. You keep your hands like this, supporting your lower back. Inhale, go back. Exhale, come down. Inhale, exhale down. Try to go as low as possible. If you can touch the floor, very good. Otherwise, wherever you reach, it's fine. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and hold here down. Just pulse a little and move from side to side so that you get a nice stretch on the back of your thighs also, your hamstrings. Then come up. Now we're going to stretch out back of our thighs and the front of our thighs as well. So your back leg is at right angles to the front foot, the back foot, and you go down. And what you need to keep in mind is the knee does not cross your toe. Slowly go down, come up, 5 times each side. 3, 4, 5. Do it slowly. Yoga is all about doing all the postures slowly. Don't rush. Now change the side. So the right foot is pointing forward, left foot is at 90 degrees to the right foot. Bend your knees, slowly go down, stretch. Parallel to the floor when you go down. 2. Feel a nice stretch here on your hamstring, right hamstring. 3, 4, 5. That's it. Good. Now we will do a little bit of stretching of the inner thighs. So just keep your legs a little more than shoulder width apart, toes pointing upwards. Bend your knees, keep your hands on your just above your knees, and then go down. 1, try to go down parallel to the floor. 2, keep your back straight, don't bend your back. 4, look forward. 5, and hold here, just hold here, and slightly pulse. So here you have a nice stretch on the inner thighs. Then come up. Then we'll just do some wrist rotation. So keep your wrists forward, rotate it 6 times clockwise and 6 times anti-clockwise. Okay. That's it. And then we'll rotate our ankles also. So 6 times clockwise. You can take support of something, some chair or something in case you're not able to balance. 6 times anti-clockwise, and then just press it like this. Same with the other leg, clockwise 6 times, anti-clockwise 6 times. That's it. So we have done our warm-up. Now we're going to do something called Surya Namaskar or Sun Salutation. So it's the Surya Namaskar which we follow. We do a count of 9. So each set is a count of 9 different postures. And this is one of the most important exercises. If you're able to do 6 to 10 Surya Namaskars every day, that will be very, very beneficial for you. So I'll do the first one slowly. You just try to follow me, and then we'll do a total of 6. So come to the front of your mats. Join your hands together in Namaste in the middle of your chest, and then just gather your balance. Keep your eyes open. Inhale, you go into position 1. Your hands are going up, your biceps are close to your ears, and slightly bend your back as much as is comfortable. And keep breathing. This is position 1. Then slowly go into position 2, bending from your hips, go down, and try to keep your hands, the fingers should be in line with the toes. Position 2. Keep breathing. Then from 2 we move to position 3. Inhale, come here. So your knees should be straight. Don't keep it bent. Try to keep it straight. Your left knee is parallel to the floor. Your hands are in line with your toe, and you're looking slightly ahead. This is position 3. Exhale, your left leg goes back and come to Santolanasana, which is a balance position. So here, your body is in a straight line. Don't try to go down like this. It's not good for your back. Or go up like this. Try to be centered here. Your face is just ahead of your fingers. Then position 5 is Ashtanga Namaskar. So you keep your knees down, chest down, chin down, and lift your hips up. That's position 5. Position 6, push forward, inhale, and come up to Bhujangasana. Then exhale, move to position 7, which is so here try to keep your heels down, touching the floor. Your chin is locked on your chest. You're trying to look at your navel. Hold this position. This is very good position. You're stretching your spine. Try to go as low as possible. And then we move to position 8. Inhale. Move your right leg forward. Remember we moved the right leg back. So we move the right leg forward and come back to this position. Keep your left knee straight. Exhale. Move to position 9. Inhale. Come back to position 1. So inhale 1, exhale 2. We'll do it slow, a little faster this time. Left leg back this time. Inhale. Right leg back. Knees, chest and chin down. Inhale 6. Bhujangasana. Exhale 7. Inhale left leg forward. Exhale both leg forward. Position 9. Inhale position 1. Exhale 2. Inhale right leg back. 3. Exhale both legs back. 4. Knees, chest and chin down. 5. Inhale 6. Exhale 7. Inhale right leg forward. 8. Exhale both legs forward. 9. Inhale 1, exhale 2, inhale left leg back 3, knee straight, look ahead, exhale 4, knees chest and chin down 5, 6, 7, left leg forward 8, inhale 9, exhale, inhale 1, exhale 2, last 2, right leg back 3, both leg back 4, knees, chest and chin down 5. If you're not able to do this, you can lie down also, no problem. Inhale 6, exhale 7, inhale 8. Breathing is very important. You won't get tired if you breathe properly. Exhale 9, inhale 1, last one. Exhale 2, inhale 3, exhale 4, knees, chest and chin down 5, inhale 6, exhale 7, inhale 8, exhale 9, inhale 1, and rest. Let's take a break. You can just sit, come down on your knees, and slowly go forward. And just catch your breath. So Surya Namaskar is a very important asana, and it's a mix of different asanas. So it's really good for the body. All the various muscles are activated when you do Surya Namaskar. So as I said, you should aim to do 6 to 10 Surya Namaskars every day. It will be very good for you. Then once you gain your strength, you can increase, of course, the number of quantities. So now we'll be doing a few asanas where the focus is really going to be on having a good posture and exercises which will work on your spine, which will stretch your spine. Since you're all in that age group where you still have not reached your full height, with yoga, if you do yoga asanas, you can increase your height till the age of 18, 20, 22 years without any problems. So it's all about stretching the various muscles in the body, making it nice and supple. So when I say posture, the posture has to be good means the shoulder and your waist, they should be in the same line. Now, if you stand like this with your chest pointed forward, it's a good posture. A lot of times what happens, especially in the teenage time, because we spend so much time on the computer, we tend to slouch like this. This is not good. This is not doing anything for your spinal cord. You don't want to give extra load on your spinal cord. If you keep your spine straight, it's very good. If you have more flab in the stomach area, then your spine is supporting your stomach also. It's doing extra work. So keep your keep a very conscious mind that you're always sitting or standing. Every time you're there, you're not slouching. You're erect. That's very important. Once you keep a conscious view of that, then it becomes a habit. You'll never slouch. So one of the exercises which we should do for this is grab hold of your hands behind like this. Stretch your body forward and look up. And keep your hand here. Don't touch it to your bottom. Keep it away. and stretch your chest open. So it's nicely opening your chest area, and it's giving you a very good posture, this one. So just hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then relax. And there's a variation for this where we're trying to open it a little more, because right now we just kept the hands here. We didn't push the shoulder too much. So what we want to do is we want to raise the hands up. So one way is just to raise it like this, or a better way of doing is to just take a breath, deep breath in and exhale, and then go down and use the gravity to push your hand up, 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 up. So here you see it's nicely opening the back also. The shoulders are opening up. The back of the shoulder. There won't be any slouch if you do this. And then come up. Inhale and come up. So this is another posture you should be trying to do. Then there is a posture called Vrikshasana, or the tree pose. So in this, you start with your feet parallel together. Slowly you raise, it's a balancing posture. So raise your right leg, right foot, and place it on the inner thigh. Either above the thigh if you can manage, or below the thigh if you're not able to manage. But not on the knee. Above the knee or below the knee. Don't do it on the knee, it's not good for the knee. Once you're able to get your balance here, if you want, you can move off the mat also on a flat surface. Sometimes the balance is better. Come in a namaste position and then raise your hand up and focus on one point. That will help you balance. Just hold on for 10, 9, 8. If you lose your balance, come back. 7, 6, 5. Keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Then slowly come out of the position. Repeat the same thing with the other leg. Strengthening the leg which is straight, that is getting strengthened. You're stretching your spine. So it's a very useful posture for increasing your height as well. So fix your foot here and raise your hands up and hold. So it's like a tree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and slowly come down. And remember, you have to keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. You hold the position, you don't hold the breath. And if you are sweating, that's a good sign. If you're not sweating, then the AC is too cold, or you're not doing it enough. Then we're going to do something which is called a warrior pose. So here you move your left leg forward, pointing straight. Right leg, you remember we did something similar when we did the warm-up. But you go down deeper into the stance, straighten both your hands. They should be on the same level as your shoulder, and look forward and go down. We'll do it for a count of 10. Look forward, sink, try to keep your knees parallel. Knees should not cross your toes. Knees should be in the same line as your ankle. And your thighs should be parallel to the floor. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up slowly. And then we do it on the other side. So again, the right leg is pointing forward. Left leg is at 90 degrees to the right leg. Go down and then your hands on the shoulder level, and whichever knee is bent, you are looking in that direction. Go down, and then 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come up. The next posture, which we are going to do, just shake your legs a bit, just to get the blood flow going there, is called a triangle pose, Trikonasana. So here, you stand with your feet more than shoulder width apart. Your right foot is pointing outwards, hands straight here like this, and then exhale and then slowly go down and try to touch the floor if you can. Otherwise, you can keep your hands here on your shin, on your knees. In case you're flexible, keep going down, and both the hands should be in the same line and look up. So this is also very good for getting a nice stretch in the spine. It's good for increasing your height. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come up now. And then turn this foot in, turn the other foot out, put the hands by your side, exhale and slowly go down till wherever you can reach. I have been doing it for a few years, so I am able to reach down. It does not matter. You should be getting the stretch, but both the knees should be straight. That's important. So keep your hand down, get a nice balance. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slowly come up. And then, now join your feet together. And we're going to do an asana called Tadasana. This is extremely, extremely important for increasing your height because you're stretching your spine. So your feet are together, your hands are facing the ceiling. Your biceps are touching your ears and you're stretching. You stretch your spine nicely. And then slowly come up on your toes and focus on one point so that you don't lose your balance. So your calf muscles are also engaged in this. You're working your thighs. Your spine is getting stretched up. You're trying to touch the ceiling. That's your aim. 10, 9, 8, 7. If you lose your balance, no problems. You can come back to the position. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then slowly come down. Then another posture is just the simple toe touching. But it's very important because it's going to work on the back. It's going to work on your core area and your stomach area. So it's going to burn the fats if there's any fat here. So what you're trying to do is stretch up and then go down and touch your toes without bending your knees. So stand with your feet together, come up, inhale and come up, exhale and bend from your hips. Don't bend from your back, then you won't be able to do it. You have to bend from your hips or the waist. So exhale and then go down slowly, slowly. And then hold here. If you can go down, if you can touch the feet, very good. If you're able to reach here, no problems. But your knees should not be bent. You should feel a nice stretch here in your hamstring. You can grab hold of your ankles if you want and pull yourself more. And go down and touch. And keep breathing.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly come up. So, then another posture which is good, which we covered in the Surya Namaskar, but it's good to do it on its own also, is called Bhujangasana or Cobra pose. So you lie down on your stomach, your palms are next to your chest, your feet are, your toes are on the floor like this, and then inhale and come up and raise your chest and abdomen. So you're getting a nice stretch on your abdomen and you're getting a nice contraction on your back. If you can raise your knees up also. It's not important. You can be here also, no problem. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. Slowly come down. And then come to what's called child pose. So sit on your heels, your knees are slightly apart, and then slowly go down, stretch. Feel a nice stretch on your lower back, your shoulders, and keep your forehead down if you can. And just relax. Then slowly come back. So these are the asanas which I wanted to cover for posture and for the height. And now the other important thing now is that most of us during the summer holidays we spend a lot of time on watching the screen. You're watching either on the iPad or a lot. There's a lot of screen on the eye. So we'll do some few exercises to for the eye muscles to make to strengthen our eyes. So sit in a simple cross-leg position. So maybe you're not able to see me. I'll just make the screen. You come and see. Sorry. Okay. Are you able to see me? I'm not sure about that. I hope you can. Sure, you can check.
Yes, we can see you.
Okay. Good. So now sit in an easy, comfortable position called Sukhasana, and just rub your hands like this. Make it a little warm. This eye exercises you should ideally do twice a day if you can remember, in the morning and evening time. And then cup your eyes nicely. Then, now the eye exercises are called Tratak. So what you're going to do is you're going to focus on one point. So raise your right thumb out in front of your face, stretch your arms out, and then look at your thumb. And then keep looking at your thumb as you slowly bring it close to your tip of the nose. Just keep focusing on the eye, on the thumb. And then slowly move it ahead, stretch your hand fully. We'll do this 5 times. You should really focus just on the tip of your nail. Slowly bring it closer. Yoga is all about doing everything in a very slow manner. No need to rush anything. Last. So this is one of the exercises. Then the other one is keep your hand in front and then move your thumb to the right and keep following your thumb, but only with your eyes. You're not going to move your neck like this. You're only going to follow it with your eyes. So your face is looking straight ahead. Just keep going. Bring it till your shoulder level, and then slowly keep following your thumb. All of us, we get very little exercise for the eyes. So now on the left side, you have to bring your left thumb out. Slowly keep following your thumb, and then bring it back. So there is a temptation to move your neck also. Don't be very conscious, be very aware. We'll do it 3 times each side. Focus on your thumb. For the right side, and then do it on the left side also. That's the last. So that's it, guys. Gently rub your hands together. Make it nice and warm. And again, cup your eyes. You'll feel very relaxing. And try to do these asanas every day, especially the Surya Namaskar. And if you have any questions, you can send it by chat or you can send a mail to Supriya Mataji and she'll help you with any further questions. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Happy yoga times to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. So, how was it? Did you all enjoy today's
Yes.
session?
Hare Krishna.
Do you want to play songs or shall we stop for today?
Hare Krishna. Yes. Hi, Purvi. Hi, Purvi.
All right. So,
Hi,
can we all switch off our videos?
Yes.
And
It was really good.
good. Okay. I hope the yoga was good. Do your Surya Namaskar every day. Do your eye exercises every day and you'll be good. Can we mute everyone? And then
Hello.
now can you tell me whether you guys want to play Kahoot or not?
Yes. Yes, we want to play.
We can play Kahoot.
You all type it in.
It's past 12.
Yes. No.
No.
If those who don't want to play can leave. Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
Hare
Others who want to play can stay back. Okay, so shall I switch on Kahoot quickly? Okay, there's your pin. Those who want to play can join now. Okay, I'm starting.
Just a minute. I'm putting the pin in.
352319. Okay, I just want to tell you that today's quiz is a super fast quiz because the first questions only give you 10 seconds to answer, and all the other questions you have only 5 seconds to answer. You have to be super quick today. You do not have 20 seconds, you only have 5 seconds. First four questions you have 10 seconds, and the others you have only 5 seconds. And here we go. Why is this Kand called Sundar Kand? All of the above. It talks about beautiful Sita, it's about the beautiful message given to Sita, and Hanuman's name is Sundar. Okay.
I couldn't listen.
Okay, Ria, Ayushi, Ria and Dia, Bharat and Manvik. Menaka mountain was saved by which Devata? Vayudev, right answer. Oh, Ayushi, Manvik, Bharat, Ria, Dia and Radhe. Surasa represents which quality? Well done. Echo. Whoever's not muted can please mute. Wow, Ayushi, you're on a streak. Ria Dia, you climbed up so much. Simhika represents which quality? Envy, correct. Right answer. Now remember, next questions, 5 seconds each. Ayushi, Ria Dia, wow. Radhe, Bharat, Yuvika, well done. Who stopped Hanuman from entering Lanka? Lankini, right answer. Ooh, wow. Ria Dia is on a streak. Excellent. Ayushi is maintaining. Again, 5 seconds. Be quick. True or false? Hanuman found Sita in one of the palaces. False. Correct. He found her in the garden. Well done. Hanuman took which form when he entered Lanka? Good. Very good. Excellent. Ooh, well done. Which Rakshasi saw a dream about Lanka being burnt? Srijata, right answer. Wow, Manvik's back on the scoreboard. Bharat Maharaj became deer in his next birth because? Yes, he thought of the deer while leaving the body. Good answer. Very nice. Jada Bharat was behaving like a madman because? He didn't want to incur karma. Well done. Oh. Last. Jada Bharat finally reached the spiritual world. True or false? True. Excellent. Third place, Manvik and Mansvi. Second, Yuvika. And on top is Ayushi. Well done. Well done. Congratulations, all of you. Excellent. So, very nice. Have a wonderful weekend and see you all on Tuesday for the next final part of Sundarkand. Yes? Hare Krishna, everyone. And also want to have any questions?
Krishna.